Welcome to an episode of No Script News. It's been a while. For those of you that don't know, No Script News, I usually talk about whatever I want that's coming out in the news, and I don't write a script, so it's pretty much just raw, less editing, and I let you know what's on my mind. And this last week, shit has literally hit the fan. Terrorists, white supremacist terrorists, have tried to overthrow our elected government this past Wednesday or so. And it seems that a lot of officials in our government were egging them on. Not only egging them on, but might have been involved in it. But not only government officials, but the actual police who are supposed to be protecting these members of Congress kind of just let the people come in. Some of them were even giving them high fives. Now, it wasn't all the cops. In fact, we had some cops in certain parts of the people's house getting their ass kicked. In fact, one of them died. He ended up being a Trump supporter, go figure. But there was also more who were okay with these terrorists trying to commit treason. There were even police officers taking part in the treason. We have Seattle Police Department releasing a statement saying that 2 of their officers were at the insurrection. Now they're being investigated to see what their involvement was, but we have reports on the ground from Capitol Police saying that there was a bunch of police officers flashing their badges telling them to let them through. And when they were confronted and asked, "What the hell are you doing?" they said, "We are doing it for you." Only a few bad apples, right? No, I expect that there'll be more police involved in this from across the country. And just wait, you're gonna see more police departments releasing statements on these. And not only that, there was organized militias, white supremacist militias that ranged from idiots to people with military training. But the most shocking thing of it all was the reaction and what's still going on right now. It was white supremacy on full display. The excuses being made for them is white supremacy on full display. If nothing is done, if people aren't held responsible, and I don't just mean the terrorists who we got on camera trying to attack the people's house. I'm talking about those who egged them on. Donald Trump, people in his administration, people in Congress. If nothing is done, if they're not held responsible, removed, expelled from the Congress, then this behavior will only be normalized and it will happen again. It will happen again in 2 years. It's gonna happen again in 4 years. From now on, if nothing is done, we won't have a democracy. In fact, we're just gonna have militias in the street that decide who our next presidents will be. Sprinkled in with these terrorists were a lot of confused, everyday people, and you see them in this picture. You see grandmas in there who don't even know where the hell they are. Just your neighbors. You see everyday people in here who are confused, and the reason why is because we have media who doesn't tell them the truth. We have algorithms that reinforce all these lies, and together with stupid people in America who don't like to read books, this is gonna happen naturally. And even though this is very serious, it was also funny at times when you see these people who thought that they could just ransack the house and think nothing was gonna happen. I mean, this Elizabeth girl who is crying on film was actually surprised that she got maced.
Ma'am, what happened to you?
I got maced.
You got maced?
By the police.
And what happened? You were trying to go inside the
Yeah,
Capitol?
I made it like a foot inside and they pushed me out and they maced me.
What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Elizabeth. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee.
And why did you want to go in?
We're storming the Capitol. It's a revolution.
She obviously was not ready for the revolution.
We have to do something. People have to do something because this could be you or your kids.
And then we have this guy who said this could be you, showing blood in his hand. And at first I laughed. I mean, I was laughing at that guy. But then I seen the full video. And he was talking about how he was behind that woman who got shot in the neck and died. And how it could have been him. And at first I thought, yeah, it could have and it should have. You know, you were breaking into the people's house trying to murder people. But towards the end of the interview, he starts talking about how the people in Congress don't represent us. And they really don't. They represent corporations. And he was talking about how they were walking by and people were just laughing at them through these buildings and taking pictures, and how they weren't laughing anymore once shit hit the fan. And that's true. And you can hear the hurt in his voice in the end when he says that they laughed when they tried to offer us $2,000 in this damn pandemic when people are losing their houses.
Just make sure people know, because this cannot stand anymore. This is wrong. They don't represent anyone. Not Republican, Democrat, Independent, nobody. And now they'll kill people.
Who are you saying will kill people?
I don't. Police, congressmen and women, they don't care. I mean, they think we're a joke. $2,000 checks was a joke to them. You know, there's people filming us, laughing at us as we march down the street at the Department of Justice. There's a man in the window laughing at us, filming us. And here it was a joke to them until we got inside, and then all of a sudden guns came out. But I mean, we're at a point now it can't be allowed to stand. We have to do something. People have to do something, because this could be you or your kids.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm pissed at the terrorists and the white militia who went in there to try to overthrow our government. But we are failing our citizens in so many levels. Through education, through the media, through public support. I mean, unless the government starts paying attention to the pain of the people, and I don't mean lies that come from these corporations and news sites. In fact, they should be sanctioned as well. But I mean actually meeting the needs of the people. Affordable housing, healthcare, clean environments, food on the table, good jobs. Shit like this is gonna keep on happening because there's gonna be unhappy people all around the country. And the thing that irritates me is that this is nothing new. There's a bunch of people right now that are saying, oh my god, I don't believe how this could happen. Oh my god, this is so surprising, shocking. No, it's not. You guys have been brunching. You guys have been at brunch for way too long to see what has really been happening on the floor. And it irritates me. For example, look at this cover of LeBron James and this white girl. What is it reminiscent of? It's reminiscent of King Kong, a monkey, terrorizing white women. But it was published as something normal. And this type of stuff is scattered throughout America, throughout American media, and the list goes on. And then these people act surprised when shit like this happens. So now it comes to cleanup work and reconciliation. But there cannot be any reconciliation or healing until we hold those people accountable. That is part of healing. Holding terrorists accountable. And that seems what the FBI is doing. In fact, it's gonna take a while, but it looks like they're trying to track down all the major players in the game. And at least the silver lining of this all is that it finally exposes to all that America has a white supremacist problem in its government, in its police force, and in society. And now there's no denying it. So this is gonna be a moment of truth for America. Either we're gonna be a nation of laws, we're gonna live by the Constitution, or we're gonna continue on the same path, and eventually it will lead to our destruction. Now, given all of this, the thing that pisses off Trump the most is that he is practically banned from the entire internet. Banned from Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Snapchat. They're removing Parler from the Google store, they removed it from the Apple store, they're removing it from Amazon Web Services. And not only that, they're also taking away his golf course from the PGA Tour. So you know that is really gonna get under his skin. And I'm delighted to know that he will go down in history as the worst president of the United States. A treasonous president who tried to overthrow the government in order to stay in power. That's what Donald Trump will remember for. That is his legacy. And those who are staying with them to the end, that will be your legacy too. Now that's gonna do it for this episode. Remember, when shit's the fan and you hear elected officials calling for unity with terrorists who try to overthrow our elected government, run.